Hello, I'm excited to welcome you to Embody Your Human Design Type, How to Move from Resistance to Flow. I'm your host, Nani, and I'm from Human Design Tools. I just want to quickly talk to you about what I'm going to share today. The first thing I'm going to talk about is human design and what it is, and then what human design type is, and talk a little bit about the 5 different types that you could be, and what human design strategy is, and then how to embody both the type and strategy. Then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how when you're not aware, like what happens when you're not aware of this information that I'm sharing and why it matters to you. And then I'm going to teach you a little bit about how you can experiment with it in your own life in the near and long-term future. And then I'm going to give you a little bonus at the end that helps you activate that flow even more. First thing I want to talk about is what is human design? Human design is a self-discovery tool that shows you how to best use your energy and how you exchange energy with others in the world. It uses ancient wisdom like the chakra system, astrology, Kabbalah, and the I Ching, and then it combines it with modern science like quantum physics. There are many layers to your chart. Often what you learn confirms what you already know deep down. Sometimes you're going to get an aha that solidifies something that you maybe were told not to do, but you knew it was actually correct for you. Or maybe it explains why you know you shouldn't be doing something and it actually is indeed not correct for you to be doing. The chart is all about learning soul lessons through interacting with life. We mostly get stuck in life because of conditioning and doing things that we think we should, rather than what we truly want. We are born an open slate of authenticity. Your chart can show you how you've been conditioned away from the truth of who you really are and much more. Most importantly, it shows you how amazing it is to just be you. If you only learned one thing in your chart, I would recommend learning about your type and then really learning about the strategy for your type. And that's what this presentation is all about. So you're going to learn that, and it's the fastest way to get back on your path. Your incarnation cross or other things about like purpose or drilling into all the planets in your chart or things like that, they're not going to mean anything if you're not in alignment, and the strategy can get you back into alignment. This is what a chart looks like. It's called a body graph. The nice thing for me is that you don't have to take a test to get your blueprint. Like often, like the personality test, you take it and it's probably you're answering based on conditioning. This is more like an astrology chart where you enter your information and it pops out a blueprint. It shows you the mechanics of how it works, like how your energy works. That's what the body graph really is. It's a blueprint for how it works. And then it gives you clues to your spiritual essence and how it might play out in your life story. So this chart is totally blank here. It'd be filled in like with all the summary information, and the boxes that have numbers in them and little symbols would have different numbers in each one, and everyone's chart is different. So you would see all of these 9 shapes, which are the energy centers, but different ones would have like different numbers lit up and or like circled, and there'd sometimes be lines coming off them connecting 2 of the shapes. So, but this is like just to give you an idea of what a chart looks like. If you don't already have your own chart, you can get one at either of these websites, either freehumandesignchart.com or go to mybodygraph.com/freebodygraph. They're right here on here so that you can go get those. And if you need to, just take a pause, go get your chart, and then come back. I want to tell you why I love human design. Everyone has their own reasons, so I want to share with you mine. I think human design shows us who we are at the very depth of our being, and it shows us who we decided to come here to be. It teaches us to love ourselves for who we are and then be able to love others and honor them for who they are. It shows us where we might have challenges. There is struggle in the chart, but the struggle is meant to help us grow and expand, and it shows us where we can really shine our light. Now I want to talk about human design type. So what is human design type? It's how you exchange energy with the world. These are a few things that are energy exchanges. So it's like how you work, how you rest, sleep, and stay healthy, how you navigate interactions with others, Sometimes these emotional signals that you get are meant to help you get back on track to your authenticity, can give you insight on how to best be heard, and how to best manage your own energy. And it's like your sacred GPS that guides the direction in your life and helps you flow more. Quickly, I just want to talk about the 5 types and their roles on Earth. We'll be digging into them a little bit deeper later, but this is just kind of like, what are the types and what are they here to do? So the first type is the manifester, and this is maybe like 9% of the population. They're here to get things started, get the ball rolling. So they initiate others. And then the generators are here to do work that they love. And work can be it's not like necessarily just career, but it's like they're doing things that they love, and they're the builders of the world. And then that's about 35% of the population. Manifesting generators are another 35% of the population. Sometimes these two are lumped together. Manifesting generators are primarily generators with a little manifestor energy. They're also here to do work that they love. And then they're also here to find efficiencies or shortcuts. It's part of how their energy works. And then the projectors are here to guide and direct, and it's meant for the intention of the good of the whole. It's not just that they want to tell people what to do. They can kind of see the big picture and help guide and direct us all in the right direction. And then projectors are about 20% of the population. Reflectors are less than 1% of the population, and they're here to be a barometer of well-being. Like if you're watching a play or something, they're kind of like the audience. They're like telling you how things are going based on their well-being, shows what the well-being of the community around them is. So how do you navigate life using your type? So this is where the strategy that I was talking about comes in. So it's all about following your personal strategy for your type, and this is how you release the resistance. So what is your human design strategy? Well, I can tell you that the highest expression of the potential in your human design chart will not be fulfilled if you are not living out and following the strategy for your type. This is what removes resistance from your life and helps you tune into who you really are. So how do we know what's for us? Well, strategy can guide us. Our strategy is like a personal shopper, offering a way for us to make decisions more easily, knowing which things to pick. Strategy is a system or a way of deciding, and it's kind of like how you engage with energy around you and then how you move based on that. And movement can be in a decision, or it could be in your mindset, or it could be like actually physically moving somewhere. So when you start living your strategy, you start making decisions that are more correct for you, and life gets easier. It's the behavior that you need to experience from others, or how you exchange your energy with others, so that you feel honored and respected. And really, it's all about just feeling good. When you don't follow your strategy, you are likely going to end up not feeling good. But when you do, you feel good. It's like a compass or a GPS. It tells you where to go, and it gives you signals when you might run into some challenges, similar to a GPS telling you there's traffic ahead. But sometimes you go anyway, and then your emotions run high. Or sometimes you follow a new path and get there right on schedule, just in a different way. It's how we dance with life. We either dance in flow, or we trip all over ourselves because we're ignoring or resisting how our energy works. For me, this was trying to act like a manifester in the business world, and I am a pure generator, so I was not responding like a generator. Are there places in your life where you feel like you are working against the flow? Or places where you easily move through the day and it just feels right, or it just feels good? So you can work against it when you're living your not self. That's the human design lingo for kind of resisting how your energy works. It feels like rolling a huge boulder up a hill. When we live in the not self and do not follow our strategy, we meet life with resistance. Or you can follow your strategy and you can flow with life and flow with other people's energies. Now let's get into it and talk about strategy by type and how to really embody the way your energy works. I like to talk about embodying your type, not just what type is, because the best guidance comes from our bodies. The body is the center of our truth, and it's where we feel grounded. Let's start with the manifester. The strategy for the manifester is to inform, but it doesn't work to just inform about whatever. What you're informing about is coming from the divine spark or whatever this sparks you to do something. So it's coming from this inner response inside you to like that you want to do something. So I have this picture of a light bulb over here. It's really the desire or inspiration, something that you feel that you are meant to do. Not everything that you try on will be correct. Sometimes it's the feeling of the spark of trying it on, and then you see if it's correct for you or not. And the embodiment piece here is that you try it on and then feel, is this right for me or is it not? But then, of course, to be successful with your inspirations, it's all about informing those who you're going to impact. So as you're going along, informing people is important. Informing, it sounds very simple, but sometimes it's easy to forget to do. Sometimes you're going so fast you don't want to stop and inform. Sometimes you might feel awkward telling people what you're going to do, especially if you've had a history of people telling you to stop doing things, trying to take you off your path. It's not uncommon at all. But really, this is not about getting someone's input. You're just telling them what you're doing. So it just makes things flow better instead of resistance for both you and the other person. So the direction comes from your embodiment with what you want to do from the inside, and then you outwardly share your process as you're going along with others, the ones you're going to impact, so that you can help it flow the best for yourself and for others. I am big on self-love, so I added in a slide for each type about what I would love about myself if I were that type. So if I were a manifester, I would love that I'm here to get things started. I'm here to ignite others. Isn't that exciting? I would love that I can make things happen. As long as I tell or inform the people who I'm going to impact, then I can just go and do it. And I love being able to initiate things based on my inner spark and not having to wait for something outside of myself. So with each type, there are emotional signals that can tell you if you're in alignment and you're kind of more in the flow and on your path, or if you're kind of getting off your path, you're going to feel a signal for that too. So the emotional signals for the manifester range from anger, which is really just creative disruption, like you were in the flow and then all of a sudden you've been disrupted. And that's when you're kind of feeling like you're getting off path, or maybe you didn't inform someone. That can happen for this too. And then you can anger others, or you can get angry yourself. And then you can also go all the way to the feeling of peace. If you're feeling more peaceful, then you're in the flow. So I want to ask you where you are on the spectrum right now. Just think about this or feel into this. It's a question that you can ask yourself every day or every time that you're making a decision, and see if you're like, basically if you're feeling good and you're feeling more peaceful, then you're on the right path. Here's an example of the manifestor strategy playing out. So every Saturday morning, you and your partner or roommate or whoever you meet up with on Saturdays have coffee with cream in it. Let's just say cream or milk, whatever. It's your ritual. You do it every Saturday about 9 o'clock a.m. And so you open the fridge and the cream is empty. It's about 7:30 right now, and you can hear the shower running upstairs, and you think you'll just run to the store, go get the creamer, and you think you'll be back before your partner even knows that you're gone. So you don't inform, you just run to the store, grab a creamer. But now it's 7:45 and your partner comes downstairs and the kitchen is empty and you're not there. Now they're getting worried. Where are you? You're always there. You always drink coffee together. Where did you go? Did you get hurt? Did you go for a walk? What happened? Now, after about 10 minutes of you being gone, this person is going to start becoming angry. And when you come back with your creamer, you're going to be so excited and they're going to be angry. So this is what happens when you don't inform. So what happens if you do inform? So you write a little sticky note that says, "Gone to get creamer, be back soon," or maybe you text this on your phone. Then you come back and it's more like flow. Your partner is fine. You're happy. They're appreciative that you got the coffee creamer, and you guys sit down and have a cup of coffee together. No problem. So that's what can be the difference of just a simple act of informing. The second type that I want to talk about is the pure generator. The strategy for the pure generator is to respond to things outside of yourself. First, you see a sign. Then the embodiment piece is that you feel the answer. So you can feel it in your sacral vibration, which this is a whole nother topic, talking about how generators feel their sacral, but that's where it is. Like, you're kind of feeling the answer. And it doesn't matter if your chart says that you're emotional or not. That just means that it might take a little bit longer for you to really feel into it and come to a peaceful clarity. But it's really about seeing something outside yourself and then feeling if it's right for you or not. So as the generator type, you're here to respond. So things will show up to you that allow you to respond to them in a positive or negative way. People might say things to you like maybe they ask you questions or make statements about you, how you're good at certain things or anything for that matter. And then you can also see signs that show up in your path for you and then feel into it. You might hear a song on the radio or overhear a conversation that sparks something into you. That's all responding. It's almost like following this trail of breadcrumbs. If your body feels positive towards it, you'll get this aha or open, embracing feeling like, yes, that's something I want to do. But if you're not like feeling positive about it, or it's probably the wrong decision for you, then you're going to feel this or this closing, like shutting down feeling. That means that if you say yes anyway, you're probably going to have a problem with that opportunity because your body told you that it was actually something that wasn't right for you. So you're designed to wait for life to bring you things to respond to, and you need to like surrender or trust that life will bring you these things, because it really will. And you're not here to initiate action like the manifester. You're not here to just do it no matter what other people tell you, including those self-help gurus or society or anyone else. You're here to see a sign outside yourself, that's the outer response, and then feel inside. That's the embodiment piece, to figure out which direction to go. And the direction to go is what lights you up. I say follow the light here, but it's like what lights you up or what feels good. Here's the self-love piece for the generator. If I were a generator, I would love that I have the energy to sustainably or keep doing whatever it is that I'm responding to, if it is the right thing for me. And that I can become a master at the things that I'm doing with practice. So if I practice, I can become a master. And I would also love that my sparkly aura, that is also very magnetic, pulls people towards me and connects me to what I love. As a generator, your emotional signals that tell you if you're on or off path go from feeling frustration or feeling frustrated. That's kind of when it's time to take a different route, or maybe just wait for the next signal. Or it can go to feeling satisfied or content. That's when you're following your light, or following what lights you up. So where are you on this scale? Are you feeling frustrated about anything, or are you kind of feeling more like you're in the flow and you're satisfied or content with what's going on in your life, or just in your day, or even in the moment? Ask yourself these questions. Here is an example of the generator strategy playing out. So say it's evening and it's raining out and you're headed to a family dinner, maybe at your sibling's house or your parents' house. Your GPS shows you a sign that there's traffic ahead. So you decide to stay on the same route anyway. And you're hoping that, it's going to clear up or not take too long. but then you get stuck in bumper to bumper traffic and you're at least 45 minutes late. As you sit there, you become more and more frustrated. So you're so annoyed that you didn't take the alternative route and that you're stuck here. You can't turn back. You're just stuck in this traffic. It's too late. And when you finally arrive at the event, you're in a sour mood. Or let's say you decided to quickly take that alternative route. You take an exit and go a back way because you knew in your gut it would be better to do this. And it maybe adds 5 minutes to the time that you're driving, but you feel this sigh of relief as you're back on track, taking this side road. And you turn the radio up and sing along, and you arrive at the event in a good mood. So you followed a path to more flow so that you could arrive there in a better state. Car analogies are always good for generators because there are literally signs all over the place when you're driving. Another type of sign you might see is maybe an exit sign for food, and then you realize you're hungry and that it's the perfect time to stop. On to the third type, the manifesting generator. Manifesting generators are primarily generators first, but they have a little manifestor energy added on top. Your strategy as a manifesting generator is to see signs like the generator. Sometimes you need to try things on like the manifestor and see if they're a fit. And you definitely need to inform people that you're going to impact. So you have this outer response like the generator. You see a sign, and then you feel into the answer for yourself, and then you share what you're doing with others. So I added in shortcuts here because the manifesting generator energy is fast moving and you are literally here to find efficiencies and shortcuts. And sometimes this happens when you're just trying things on, but it's still going to flow best if you inform people. And I'm going to share an example of this in a minute. If I were a manifesting generator, I would love that I can do a lot of things and get a lot of things done. That I can try things on to see if they're right, knowing that they're not mistakes to try them on. I would love how I can find shortcuts and efficiencies that help myself and others, and I would love my powerful voice. The emotional signals that guide a manifesting generator go from impatience, which really is the frustration of the generator plus anger or creative disruption, and it goes to satisfied or contentment like the generator. So if you're impatient or feeling frustrated or disrupted or angry, you're probably a little bit off path, or something needs a little bit of alignment. And if you're feeling more satisfied or content, then you're probably in your flow. Here's an example of how the manifesting generator strategy can play out. Say you notice something that needs to be done at work. You know it's important for the completion of the project you're working on, or this could happen at home too. But you're already overloaded and it's really not your job to do this thing, but you just decide to do it anyway. You know that if you do it yourself, it'll be done quicker and better. So you don't tell anyone, you just know it needs to be done and you do it. But now you're working evenings and weekends. And over time, your brain can start to feel and look like this desk here, and your desk might literally look like that with lots of papers and work that's, disorganized or maybe just piled up, or a lot of it's probably not even yours because you just took it on. Now let's add to this, and someone else on your team also decided to do the same work that you did to complete the project, and you weren't informed that they were working on it. In the end, your coworker did an amazing job at it because it was their job, and your work isn't even needed. So now you're angry, maybe impatient or frustrated because you skipped something really important personally to get that little piece of work done, maybe little or big. But for one thing, you did it without responding. You just decided to do it and you didn't respond, and then you didn't inform. So now you're frustrated about your own life. And then the company or the other person's also frustrated because Two people did the work, and that's the opposite of efficiency. Now let's say each time you have this idea of something new to add, you start bringing it up in team meetings. You share, which really is this informing piece, all of the things that you're working on, and so do your team members. Now, not only are you informing of what new things are actually theirs, you're informing them what needs to be done, they can take that stuff on that is actually theirs, and it takes it off of your plate. And they're informing you what they're working on so you don't double do work as well. Now you're working on all the things that you can handle. You can delegate because you trust others, because the informing piece has opened. And you can have this desk, maybe even your brain, that's filled with stuff that feels like flow and creativity. Of course, there are still little things that you have to do that aren't like super amazing and they need to get done, but you don't mind doing the little things anymore because you're in this flow. The fourth type we'll talk about is the projector. Remember, the projector is here to guide and direct. So for you as the projector, your strategy is to be invited or recognized by your peeps. So this is the external piece. This is like the outward piece. So that's you're being invited or recognized by others. You can't just decide who to be recognized by. So you're here to guide a specific group of people, and only you know who they are. And it's based on what you want to share. You're like a magnet for them rather than trying to just go be something for someone else. For the projector, the feeling of being recognized is what will click for you in your body when you're invited by the right people. The projector strategy is to be invited and then to tune into what really makes you happy in between the big invitations, because that's how the right invitations will come your way. I see this as a total embodied practice of tuning into what you really want to learn in between the invitations, and then distinguishing the feeling of the right connections or the right invitations and recognition, and then move to the correct opportunities for yourself. Part of the embodiment for you will be to talk about your decisions with trusted people. The vibration of your voice to yourself is what gives you the answer. It doesn't really matter what the other people say. It's like you giving yourself advice through talking it out. If I were a projector, I would love that I understand other people so well. I really get them. I would love how I can see the whole picture. I would love how valuable my role of being wise and sensitive is, and that I'm really holding a place. I'm holding a place and a space for everyone else. I would love that my gift or talent is in directing and guiding, and I only need to do what my body can handle. The emotional signals for the projector range from bitterness. Sometimes I've also heard it described by projectors as a resentful feeling, to the other spectrum is success. So the bitterness end is when you're more off path and it's signal to make a change, or it's a signal to take a rest because you're resentful that other people are doing more, but you are meant to guide. So sometimes it just tells you to take a rest and get your energy back. And then the other side of the spectrum, success, is when you're feeling more aligned. Here's an example of how the projector strategy can play out and how it really feels. You love reading books and you're thinking about joining a book club, because this is what would bring you bliss between invitations that we talked about before. Let's say you just decide to join a book club that a coworker of yours is part of because it's close to your house and it seems easy. So you ask to join, but when you get there, you realize these are not your people and the books are definitely not what you want to read. When you give your opinion, people start looking at you funny, and then you start feeling a little excluded, and you're bitter you wasted your time even going. Now let's say your friend who you adore excitedly asks you or tells you about a book club she's starting, and she invites you. It's a little farther drive, but you figure you'll try it out. You get there, and the books are exactly what you've been wanting to read. And when you share your thoughts with the group is hanging on your every word. So you feel happy, recognized, and included, and you feel like you're in the flow. This may not be the exact example for you, but I'm trying to show you how to tell how to feel if you're in the right place with the right people. I think you're going to be able to tell, but if not, take a look back at some times in your life where things went really well. Can you identify where the invitation was and how you got there? Or if something didn't work out, can you reflect back to see if you pushed before you were invited or recognized? You're not here to be with every person or every group, but you're definitely here for those that value you. Now, the fifth type I want to talk about is the reflector. It's a very rare type. Less than 1% are reflectors, and they're here to be the barometer of health of the community around them. The reflector strategy is to wait out a lunar cycle or about 29 days before making big decisions, and in the meantime, talk it out with trusted friends or family or whoever they choose to talk to during that period so that they can feel really good about the decision by the end of the time. So this is this outer lunar cycle and talking it out outside of yourself and detaching from everything around you because you're so open and you take in energy from others. You don't want to get more confused by being around others' energy and taking it in. You want to talk it out so that you know the answer for yourself. You're just bouncing things off others or reflecting it off them and talking it off for yourself. If you do not clearly know the answer by the end of a lunar cycle, then wait another cycle. This is a totally embodied strategy. Even though it seems like the strategy is mostly about time, it's really about how you're feeling. And if you feel good the whole time and you feel good at the end of the cycle, that tells you the answer, and that coming to a decision is about feeling good. So that's like the embodied piece, the inner piece is you have this outer lunar cycle, you're talking it out with other people, you're trying not to like include their feelings and thoughts that you can easily take in, you're detaching from that, and then you're tuning into what feels good for you. The emotional signals for a reflector range from disappointment to surprise. If you don't allow yourself the time to make decisions, you may regret your choices and be stuck. You also see the potential and authentic core in every person and the world and the people around you, and people don't always live up to the potential that you can inherently see. On the other hand, the surprise you can feel comes from detaching from what you are mirroring, and rather than feeling disappointed or overwhelmed, each day you can wake up feeling excited about what the day will bring. What new energy will it bring you today? So that's like when you're feeling more in the flow. If I were a reflector, I would love how I know what's going on around me and I know when things aren't going well based on how I feel. I would love that I could help others know when something is going on for them so they could heal it because I can feel other people. And I would love that people around me would feel seen and accepted. So here's an example of the reflector strategy playing out. Say you see a posting for a new job. So you're like searching on your computer and you found a great posting. It looks so great. The stuff that the company is doing is so innovative and something you've always wanted to try. So you interview with the manager over the phone because they're out of town for a conference. And they like you and they offer you the job. And so this is what happens when you act too quickly. They ask you if you want to wait to make your decision until after they get back, so you can come in and see the office and meet the team. It seems like a great opportunity, so you jump right in and you say yes. But the first day you arrive, you feel this sinking feeling. You see the open floor plan with tons of desks together. You actually work better when you have more privacy and less distraction. Then you meet your team and they're all super stressed and negative, and you can feel all of it. So this time you regret not taking your time to make the decision. You feel disappointed. But let's say you waited your lunar cycle, and during that time you talked to a friend who knows someone at the company you interviewed with, and they give you the inside scoop about the stress level and open floor plan. Then another opportunity pops up while you're waiting. This time you know you're going to wait your lunar cycle and you take your time with the hiring process. You meet the team and it's a small team and you mostly work from home. You just come together for collaboration when needed. You love the people on the team. They're positive and inspiring. You also flow with the time that you get to work from home, and you get to work in an environment that you love. In this example, I'm not saying all reflectors work better from home, but it's more about tapping into that feeling of the environment and the people and waiting. It's the community and the environment that will make or break your flow and well-being. You're a reflection of what's going on around you. If you feel overwhelmed and stress from others, you're going to take it on and it's going to show up in your body too. But if you feel this like positive, inspiring energy and flow, and you get to work how your energy feels good, then you're going to flow. So for all 5 types, you can be empowered in your type and in your strategy in particular when you surrender to it. When you try to control, you end up resisting the flow. So why does this all matter to you? It matters because some things can happen when you don't follow your strategy. So this is when you're going to be in the resistance. You may feel like you're pushing that boulder up the hill. You may feel like you're wasting your precious time and energy on someone else's path. And you may stay in a low vibe, your not self emotion, stuck on repeat, or just a yucky feeling or other low vibration energy. Because it takes more energy to wear a mask of what you're not. The key is to become aware and then do things differently. And this presentation, just listening to it, is making you aware. So you've already taken the first step. Strategy-based living is what will help you flow. Here's what it looks like in your life. It's saying yes to the things you want to do. It's saying no to the things that drain you. It's doing things that are right for you, not things that you should. It's making more aligned decisions, and it's feeling when something is off. Okay, so now what? We are to the last section. This is the experiment in your real life. The experiment really is just taking human design and applying it to your daily life. Try following your strategy, just one step at a time. So here's your homework. Manifestors, try to inform a family member or coworker of something you're going to do. Generators, don't start anything. Try this for like a week. Wait and see what comes. Manifesting generators, do the same thing as generators. Do your primary strategy. Wait and see what comes. And if you want to have a bonus, then go ahead and inform a family member or coworker of something you're going to do once you have responded. Projectors, learn something new this week. Follow something that really excites you or something that you want to learn. And reflectors, take a week and notice how you feel each day and wait to make any big decisions. So here is your bonus activation gift that I talked about at the beginning. This is something that can accelerate your path to flow and remove some of that resistance for you. And it's super easy. Positive Prime is a new, innovative way to help your brain integrate empowering and positive thoughts and ideas. It creates positive habits that bring amazing results. I actually have a friend who was looking for a job for a while and wasn't having good luck. And I suggested that she watch a few sessions from Positive Prime. And within, I think she did it for about 3 days. And on the 4th day, she actually had several interviews lined up all in one day. It was amazing to me. And what I want to do here is help you superpower your human design journey. Positive Prime is a visual tool. It's like a supercharged vision board using brain science. The pictures are designed with positive psychology and neuroscience to activate your brain for change. The words are perfectly crafted so that your brain accepts them. And the audio is designed to resonate with your brain. Your brain seeks change, and this tool moves so quickly that the messages go straight to your unconscious, and your brain doesn't have time to argue with them. You can customize it, add your name, and even add your own images. So you can manifest what you want and hone in on limiting beliefs and shift them. Here are a few of the things that are going on. So one of them is the Duchenne smile. So some of the images have this smile in it. It's an authentic smile. If you see someone with an authentic smile, you're going to feel happier even if you don't smile yourself. Or if you want to feel powerful, look at the power pose. You automatically feel more confident and powerful just by looking at it, even if you aren't in the power pose yourself. Or you can feel more safe and secure with something like a tree canopy. So this is just showing you how the images can, train your brain to accept them and change the way that you feel just by looking at something. So what in the world is Positive Prime by Design? It's something that I created myself to truly activate the power of change in your life. And it's the fusion of Positive Prime, the tool, and human design. Human design shows us that we're conditioned. Most of the time, this is in our beliefs and thoughts. And the journey of becoming more authentic is peeling back those layers of conditioning. And so then you add in the power of Positive Prime. The Positive Prime sessions help you shift your limiting beliefs. It can help in the long term and the short term. I actually use them a lot to shift my mood in the moment and really set my day right. So here's an example of what I mean by the fusion. So the left side there is a name of one of the sessions in Positive Prime. And then I tie it to why a certain either human design type or just human design in general, why you'd want to use this. So like I was talking about, you have layers of conditioning that need to be peeled back. And so letting go and surrendering can really help with that. So I compiled a full list of 9 power sessions for human design. And then I did 5 sessions for each of the human design types that I talked about in this presentation. So what's next? If you're already a member, what your bonus is the e-guide to the sessions that will maximize your human design. If you're not a member, you actually get 2 bonuses. You get your free 10-day trial. And within this 10 days, you can use the e-guide that you also get to maximize your 10 days according to your human design. If you want to grab that free e-guide, go to this link, humandesignTools.com/positive prime. I will put it in the show notes as well, and hopefully you can just link to it from there. So go grab that. So I just want to recap this entire presentation. So what's human design? It's a self-discovery tool that can help you learn more about who you truly are. What is type? It's how you exchange energy with the world and the people around you. Strategy is your personal shopper of life flow. So it's like how you flow in life. And the 5 types embodied help you feel into who you are. Why it matters is because it takes more energy to wear a mask than just to be who you truly are. And then experiment by trying it on in real life. And of course, activate and accelerate a higher potential by adding in Positive Prime. It's totally normal to be conditioned. We all are, but it's totally doable to be aligned, especially once you become aware. And this presentation has helped you with that. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen. I hope you learned something today. If you want to get in touch, check out humandesignTools.com. You can connect to me by listening to my podcast, reading my blog. I'm on Pinterest and YouTube. You can grab your freebie and definitely join my mailing list so that we can stay connected. And if you learned something today, please give me a thumbs up down below. And of course, I always love to hear your comments. So feel free to put some in there too. So thanks again, and I hope to connect with you soon. Bye-bye.